Jump in sparkling science. It's a nice wording, isn't it? It's a program of the Ministry of Science and Research, running since something like 11 years, combining science research, and young students, young school students. That's the main idea. And this is within the topic of education. That's the reason why I'm here and telling about the projects we were running. I want to present very quickly, very fast, some pictures, mainly pictures out of this project. The first one, what we started, this was a project related to dendrochronology, with the goal to reconstruct drought periods in the regions close to Vienna. We had 2 schools included. The age of the school pupils was 15 to 18 years. And here you can see some nice pictures from the activities we had together with the school pupils. We did some sampling together, some nice experiences. We did a lot of measuring and discussion also together with the school pupils. This was quite successful. And of course we tried a little bit to do analysis. Of course that's not really possible because you have to know a lot about the statistics and so on, but we did some very nice workshops. So this was the first one. Second one, this project was settled in the Austrian Open Air Museum, by the way. Maybe you can visit this next year. The goal here was to analyze the past wood utilization based on the inventory. So that means we did some wood species identification, but also we used different techniques of harvesting. We had a look on fencing systems, like you can see here. That's a very special fencing system from the Tyrol area. We measured some buildings, the size, to calculate the volume of wood which is in use, and so on. Yeah, and we did some felling of trees also in winter time, having some snow around. Here once again the felling using the old technique. That means using axe and the saw, not the motorized saw. And yeah, we brought the logs to the historical sawmill, and we did also some sawmilling there, which you can see here. Cutting boards, which takes about half an hour to cut one length of 4 meters, so it's not that fast. Doing the sawing by hand, that's the same speed more or less. Also, it takes about half an hour to cut one log in 4 meter in length. The next one, this was really a follow-up more or less, and at this project we were able to finish with a very nice book. Unfortunately it's German written, describing 60 species. I know that's nothing for tropical regions, but if you have in mind that in Austria we have about 10 wood species really in use. So if you go to a trader, then you can find something like 10 to 15. But we found 60 species in use. So that means also a lot of shrubs and so on were in use in former times. So we had also 2 schools here involved, very specialized schools, by the way, in this project. So we had to sample in the forest because they are not traded anymore, these species. We have to cut them down. We have to cut them to pieces. Here you can see also once again one school class involved in looking for the shrubs, mainly big shrubs and small trees. Then we had a lot of samples. This looks great, but the diameter is something like this, 10 to 15 centimeters. So that's not really a huge area of logs. That's very small ones. Then we had to cut samples. We had to dry them and process them. And we did a lot of testing, of material testing. So checking for example, here's the compression strength, what you can see. We tried a little bit on old techniques. In this case it's splitting of wood. We had a lot of small sample preparations. We did also wood anatomy on this, what happened here. And another one, that's also a region not far away from Vienna. We were concentrating on historical wooden buildings, not completely wooden buildings, but the roof constructions. So these were mainly churches made of stone or bricks, but the ceiling, the roof construction is also, made of wood. Also, once again, two different schools involved, and here it was also possible to set up a German written book. So we did a lot of measurements, once again, in the field, so that means in the roof constructions, introducing the school students also to historical wood. We did some dating and some workshops that what you can see here to introduce dendrochronology to the public. And a lot of students, school students, try to date. You can see here the method of dendrochronology. It's something we produced to try to find the right date. And of course we did a lot of dating also of furniture, what you can see here, for example. And finally, yeah, it was a lot of analysis which you can find in the book. This is, for example, an assembly mark of the roof construction of a church. That's how it's one example of a roof construction, how it looks like. You can see it's quite complicated, big, huge constructions. So like here, that's in a castle where we did a lot of work. And finally, that's the ongoing project, what's running at the moment, which is very interesting. And I had a report on the, let's say, on the pre-project in Nepal at the World Wood Day. The idea here is to document wooden handicraft, so handicraft related to wood, to document in a way that people who are a little bit involved in handicraft can reproduce these products. That's really the idea, and it's quite a complicated job. There's just one school involved. We had a 2 days filming just a few weeks ago, a very cold period in Austria. So we try to use different approaches on a head camera, or you can see here the camera really above the handicraft. Yeah, some impressions also from the filming. So that's really the ongoing project, and I'm sure I will be able to present much more on this project next year World Wood Day, because in my opinion it's a very, very important part of education and of safeguarding. Safeguarding is also something really very important when we heard a lot of these problems. And to conclude this, we had a very nice statement. This was one of the project days where the school pupils came to the museum, and you can see here on the picture. It's once again the historical sawmill, and this guy here gave this statement. This is really right. This was really him, because we did some filming also at this time for television, because it was the 50th anniversary of the museum. That was the reason. And he mentioned it is very interesting to see and to experience how hard the manual work was in former times. Now this was very nice. A very nice citation of this 18-year-old student. He was working there for 2 days in the sawmill and also on the hand sawing, what you have seen before. So, concluding all this it's more than 10 years of experiences in this kind of project. Unfortunately, the program stops now, so we are not sure if we can get more projects on this educational projects. So a lot of scientific data were gained. That's also important because it has to be a scientific project. It's not only an educational project. So we had really several hundreds of young people involved. So they had the chance to learn a little bit about wood culture, and I think that's really fantastic. And To conclude, the experience on how wood feels, smells and looks like, how hard or easy, mainly it's easy, is it to use, to process and to have a peek into wood culture is important and will be kept in their minds. And I think that's really a very successful way, and thanks for your attention. Just to give some other expressions of the work we did there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.